Okay, so we are going to do an experiment on the latent heat of fusion. And what that's going to consist of is we're going to take some warm water and put it in here, and we're going to slowly add some ice cubes and see how that affects the temperature of the mess. So we have two thermometers. This one we're going to use to test the temperature of the room around us in the air, and we're going to use this one to test the water. Both going to be measured in Celsius. We have our cup of warm water that we're going to pour into this cup, which is empty, but it's metal, so it should keep the temperature low. We have our bowl of ice cubes that we'll be putting in gradually, and our scale, which we'll measure in grams. So first of all, we're going to take the temperature of the room. It gives us 22.1 degrees Celsius. Okay. Now we're going to weigh the cup without anything in it. Okay, that is 387 grams. Now we're going to add this water into the cup, and it should roughly fill it halfway. Okay. So the weight of the water, of the cup now with the water, is 778 grams. And the temperature of the water, which we'll use this for, is 38.8 degrees Celsius. Now we're going to start adding ice cubes in one by one and stirring with the thermometer. These first few should melt pretty quickly because the water is still going to be pretty hot. Okay, so that first ice cube is melted. Now we're going to put a second one in. And after one ice cube, the temperature has already dropped about 4 degrees Celsius. Okay, that second ice cube is melted, so we're going to put the third one in. Now we should see these next few ice cubes take a little bit longer to melt as the temperature of the water is decreasing with every ice cube we put in. Here. Should just be about 2 or 3 more, and we should end up being below the initial room temperature before we pour this water in. Okay, so now we're within about 2 degrees of our starting room temperature. Put another one here. Okay, so we're right about where we started, about 22 degrees Celsius. So I'm going to put in one more, just so we can get right below that. See? Okay, so that ice cube is melted. Just take the temperature real quick. And we're looking at about exactly 20 degrees Celsius. So with that extra ice cube, we are now about 2 degrees below what the initial room temperature was. Let's look at the mass here. So we have 854 grams. If we do quick math, we will see that the weight of the grams that we put in is going to be 76 grams of ice. And there we go. That's the experiment. Now we can see how the latent heat of fusion works in a slightly controlled environment.